is remaining. Okay, that is principle of flotation, flotation and sinking. Okay, floating and sinking. Okay, so today what we are going to do for 15 to 20 minutes, we are going to take the revision of the whole chapter. Okay, so we'll be revising the whole chapter. Okay, so what is the chapter's name? Physical quantities and measurement. Quantities and measurement. Okay. So we'll be discussing a physical quantity. Okay. Some quantity, for example, density, it's a physical quantity. Okay. Density, mass, area, these all are quantities. What kind of physical quantities? Okay. The length of this pen, it's a physical quantity. Okay. So we'll be discussing the physical quantity, and what especially we will be discussing today in this chapter, density. So mainly we will be discussing physical quantity, which one? Density. Okay. We are discussing density. Okay. For calculation of density, we require mass and volume. So how density is defined? Density is nothing but mass per unit volume. Okay. How much mass is contained is per unit volume of a substance. That is called as density. Okay. That is called as density. So unit of density will be what? SI unit of density. It will be SI unit of density will be what? Mass SI unit is what? kg. And SI unit of volume?
Meter cube.
Meter. So SI unit of density is what? kg per meter cube. Okay. So we have a volume of 1 meter cube. 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. Take a cube of 1 meter. That is meter cube. Take a cube of 1 meter, and how much mass of that particular substance is contained in this much volume. That will give us the density of that substance. This is clear. It is mass per unit volume. Okay. So to calculate the density of any substance, what we have to do? First, we have to calculate its mass. Then we have to calculate its volume, and then we will divide mass by volume, and that will give us the density of that particular substance. This is clear density, how we define. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This density is independent of what? Which parameters it is independent? Whether density depends on the shape of the object or size of the object. Whether density depends on shape and size of the object. Shape or size. Whether it depends on shape and size of the objects. Does density depend on shape and size of the object?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
No,
It's,
sir.
it's no. Density does not depend on shape and size of the objects. Whatever the shape and size of the object is, it does not matter, because then what is density? Mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume. This is clear. So shape, whatever shape it is, it doesn't matter. Its mass remains same. Okay. Whether you take a particular some amount of clay, okay, measure its mass, measure its volume, and calculate the density. You got the density of that clay. Now change the shape of that clay. Whatever shape you change, you haven't removed any portion of the clay from it. The amount of clay remains same. The volume will remain same. The mass will remain same. So whatever shape of an object is, it doesn't matter. The density does not depend on shape of the object. It does not depend on the size of the object as well. Yes or no? Because, for example, you have taken some sand or clay, you have taken. You have calculated its mass, you have calculated its volume, and you calculated its density. Okay. Now, some more portion of clay you have added. Okay. So mass increases, volume as well increases. Now, if you calculate the density or the ratio, it remains same. That is, density does not depend on size of the object. As well, you can see what we are calculating density, that is mass per unit volume. Per unit volume. It is mass per unit volume. So the density does not depend on the shape and size of the object. Okay. Whether you take water in a glass, the water which is contained in a glass, its density, for example, it is 1000 kg per meter. Okay. Whether you take it out and pour the same water, okay, right? More water in your place, and the density will also be 1000 kg per meter at the same temperature. Okay. The density does not vary, or we can say density does not depend on shape and size of the object. This is clear. Density does not depend on shape and size of the object because we are calculating mass per unit volume. Per unit volume. Okay. But this size is bigger, but we will take density mass per unit volume. Only per unit volume we are calculating. That is, in unit volume, how much mass is contained. In unit volume, how much mass is contained. Therefore, density does not depend on shape and size of the object. Shape or size of the object. This is clear. SI unit we have discussed, and we have discussed different units of density. Yes or no? Or have we forgotten everything? We have discussed kg per meter cube. This is what SI unit. Other unit was gram per centimeter cube. And how 1 gram per centimeter cube is related with kg per meter cube? How it is related? 1 gram per centimeter cube equal to dash kg per meter cube. How much it is? 1000 kg per meter cube. And how we have calculated? Okay, CF4C. What is gram per centimeter cube? Okay. Centimeter cube is how much? Volume of centimeter cube. Take 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter. So we are taking cube of 1 centimeter. Centimeter cube. A cube of 1 centimeter. This is the size of the cube of 1 centimeter. Okay. In this, how much mass is contained? 1 gram. Mass contained is 1 gram. Okay. Now take here meter cube. Meter cube will be how much? This much. This much. This is 1 meter. So take a cube of 1 meter. How much mass is contained in it? Here 1000 kg. How it is related? In 1 centimeter cube, how much mass will be contained? 1 gram. And in 1 meter cube, how much mass is contained? 1000 kg. This is how they are related. How you can calculate? 1 gram converted into kg divided by centimeter cube. Converted into meter cube. 1 centimeter equal to 1 by 100 meter. And you have to take the cube of this one. Okay. Further you do, so it will be what? 100, 100, 100. Okay. One more step you can write. 1 divided by 1000 kg. 4 divided by 1 by 100, 100, 100 meter cube. This will come in numerator. 3 zeros will be cancelled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Kg per meter cube. It will be how much? 1000 kg per meter cube. This we already calculated last time. This is clear how it is related. Okay. So the relation we must remember is 1 gram per centimeter cube equal to how much? 1000 kg per meter cube. Something more highlight here. Okay. You can also figure it out. That is, for a particular substance is there. If you take a volume of 1 cube, how much mass will be contained of that substance? 1 gram. Okay. Now, if we take the volume of 1 meter cube, the same substance, how much mass will be contained in it? 1000 kg. You can see there as well. 1 cube only this much, 1 gram. Now, 1 meter cube will be this much bigger size of the cube, or a box you can say. So it will contain how much? 1000 kg. This is clear. Okay. And 1 centimeter cube is how much? It is 1 milliliter. Milliliter. Okay. 1 gram divided by 1 number liters. That is 1 centimeter cube is how much? 1 milliliter. Okay. So further we can write 1 gram per milliliter. This is clear? This thing is clear? Okay. And in 1 meter cube, how many liters are there? 1 meter cube. Meter cube is this much big box. And 1 liter is this much only. How many are there? Is it 1000? Okay, that I leave up to you to find it out. How many liters are there in 1 meter cube? Okay, we have discussed that one. So on page number 27, you can see the densities. Page number 27, table is given. Gold density you can see in kg per meter cube, 19300. Now, if you have to convert, One nine three zero zero. This is the density of gold in kg per meter cube. If you have to convert it to gram per centimeter cube, what it will be? 1 gram per centimeter cube is 1000 kg per meter cube. So we have to what? We have to divide it by 1000. We have to divide it by 1000. How much it will be? 1000 equal to 1 gram, 1 kg per equal to 1 by 1000. This much equal to this. So it will be 19.3 grams per centimeter. This is clear? So in 1 meter cube, this much kgs. In 1 centimeter cube, 19.3 grams. This is clear? You can see the table. Gold, lead, silver, copper, iron, zinc, aluminum, brass. Okay. See here ice. What is the density? 920 kg per meter cube. And what is the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius? 1000 kg per meter cube. Who is having, which one is having more density? Water or ice? Which is having more density?
Water.
Water is having, you can see the table. On 14th number it is ice and 16th number it is water. Okay. Okay, check 1/5 iron. Iron, see the iron. It is 7800 kg per meter cube. And what is mercury? 13600. Which is more denser? Which is having more density? Iron or mercury?
Mercury.
Mercury is having more density. Okay. Mercury is having more density as compared to iron. Okay. This is clear. Then we have discussed what density we have discussed. Now we have to determine the density of substances. How we have determined density? So first we have to take the solids. Okay. Solids and liquid density we will discuss. Determination of densities of solids and liquids. We have discussed that one. Okay. So first determination of density of solid. Okay. So first, if solid is regular in shape, how we have calculated density of the solid is regular in shape. So what we have to calculate for density? Mass upon volume. So if solid is regular in shape, okay, how to calculate mass? Which instrument we are going to use for calculating mass? B balance. So solid mass we can calculate using B balance. Now how to calculate mass? Volume if it is regular in shape. If regular in shape, we can measure the dimensions. We can measure the dimension and using the particular formula we can calculate the volume. Okay. For example, it's a cube, we can calculate the length of a side and we can calculate the volume side cube, or if it is a cuboid, we can calculate the length, breadth and height and we can calculate volume length into breadth and height. Or if it is a cylinder, we can calculate its radius and height, Then we can calculate the volume, pi r square, area of the base into height, that will give us the volume. Or this is clear, calculate the radius, and we can calculate the volume 4 by 3 pi r. Okay, we can calculate the volume of regular solid. But if solid is irregular, how we can calculate if it is irregular? If it is irregular, mass we can calculate using beam balance. Whether it's regular or irregular, we can put in the pen of the beam balance and we can calculate the mass. Mass, again beam balance, but volume. How to calculate volume this time? Since it is irregular in shape, so we cannot base the dimensions. How we are going to measure? How to calculate volume as well? We don't have any such formula for irregular solids. So what we are going to do? Which method we are going to use to calculate the volume of irregular solid? The method name is there. Displacement.
Displacement method.
Displacement method. I'll write it right. Okay. Which method? Displacement method. And why it is called displacement method? What we are displacing? What we are displacing? Mainly a liquid.
Water.
A liquid, a water we are displacing. We are displacing a liquid. Any liquid we can displace. A liquid in which that solid is insoluble. Yes or no? A liquid in which that solid is insoluble, we are displacing. And mainly we displace water. Okay. So we will be using displacement method to calculate the volume of an irregular solid. Okay. And what we did? First method. We took the Mason cylinder. Okay. It is calibrated. Okay. 100 ml like this is being calculated. And we fill water up to some volume V1. Now we tie a thread to the solid and immerse it completely in water. As you immerse, what will happen to the water? It will rise. So earlier it was V1, now its volume has goes to V2 level. Okay. Now see here, whatever volume of water has rose, that is same as volume of solid. Yes or no? Or what we are saying? The solid has displaced water. Displacement method, solid has displaced water. So volume of the displaced water. Volume of the displaced water. See here, you can see this water has been displaced here. So volume of the displaced water is equal to volume of the irregular solid. This is clear. This is the concept behind this displacement method. Okay. Volume of the solid is equal to the volume of the displaced water. So what will be the volume of the solids? V2 minus V1 ml or centimeter cube you can take. This is the volume. We got the volume. We got the mass. You can calculate the density of the irregular solid. Okay, this was the first method. Second was the Eureka can method or the overflow can. Yes or no? You have filled water in an Eureka can up to the power. Okay. If any water flown, we have removed. Okay. Now we have used the Mason's method. Okay. Now we are going to immerse the solid tied with a thread in this Eureka can. So as it gets immersed in the water, what will happen to the water? It will rise. It will start to displace, and then water will flow into the Mason's method. Now, whatever volume of water has been displaced here, it has been displaced from here and collected in Mason's method. So, whatever volume this Mason's method is showing, that is equal to the volume of the solid. This is clear. That volume will be the volume of the solid. Okay, and we can calculate the density of that irregular solid. This is clear. So, these. Okay. Here, what we have taken, this irregular solid is heavier than water. Okay. When this solid is heavier than water, we can use this method. But what if the solid is lighter than water? It will float. It will float in water, it won't sink. So water won't get displaced much. We require this solid to be completely immersed. But if the solid is lighter than water. It won't get immersed completely. So what we are going to use, or what, how we can do? Proceed with that.
Using a sinker.
Okay. We will use some sinker. Sinker is what? That will hug that one and make it to sink. Yes or no? That only we are doing. So this time what we are going to do? If it is lighter than water, and this cylinder will have pour some water up to V1 level. Okay. Now first take a stone. Okay. This stone is sinker only. We will tie this stone with a thread and immerse it. Okay. Its volume has rose up to V2 level. Okay. Now take it out. This time tie a. This is our sinker stone. And for example, coat, we have to measure the density of the coat. And coat is lighter than what it would say. So we tie coat now. And now immerse it into the water. Again, water will be displaced V3 level. So what will be the volume of this coat? V3 minus V2. And V3 minus V2 will be the volume of the coat. And we can calculate the density. Mass, we can simply use the V balance and we can calculate. This is clear. So earlier method was when the solid is heavier than water. What if solid is lighter than water? We'll use sinker. We'll use sinker. This is clear. Okay. What if the solid is soluble in water? Then
We will use another liquid which
you can use any other liquid in which it is insoluble. Yes or no? We will use any other liquid in which that solid is insoluble. Okay. This is clear. These all we have discussed. Okay. After that, we have discussed determination of density of a liquid. How to determine the density of a liquid. Okay. And for that, what we have used a special device or instrument device, something we have used. What is that?
density water.
Density water. Okay. So we are determining the density of a liquid. Again, what we require? Mass and volume. So this time we are using density water. Okay. What is density water here? Density water, it comes in different capacities. Okay, smaller size, 25 ml, 50 ml, 100 ml, 75 ml like this. It comes in different capacity. Capacity means the amount of volume it can hold of. So if it is, the density water is there. For example, this density water, its capacity is written 25 ml. It is written over it 25 ml. So maximum amount of liquid it can hold is 25 ml. This is clear. The maximum amount of liquid this density water can hold is 25 ml. Okay. Now see here how to measure the density. So first, using a stopper fuse here. So there is stopper is there, which is having a narrow opening. Okay. And why it is being provided narrow opening in the stopper? We'll discuss after some time. Okay. So see here, first density water along with the stopper. We take its mass. Okay. We calculate its mass. Okay. So let the mass be V1. This is for empty density water. So when the density water is empty, we have measured its mass. So mass of empty density water. Let it be M1. Okay. Gram we can take or kg. Okay. M1 we are taking. Okay. M1 gram. Now what we are going to do? We will fill it with the liquid whose density we have calculated. We have filled it, we have removed the stopper, and we have filled it with the liquid whose density we have calculated. Okay. Now we will insert the stopper. Okay. As we insert the stopper, what will happen? The excess liquid it will flow out. Excess liquid will flow out, and What will be the volume of the liquid hold now? 25. Volume of the liquid will be 25. That is capacity that is being written on the density curve. So volume of the liquid will be how much? V equal to 2500 or whatever capacity that is being written. Okay. Now what we are going to do? We will calculate this mass. We will calculate the mass of the density bottle plus the liquid content, filled density bottle. Okay. So mass of density bottle plus liquid. And let it be M2 term. Okay. So see here, what we require to calculate the density of the liquid? Mass of the liquid divided by volume of liquid. This we require. And since we know liquid requires container. So what we are going to do? First we calculate the mass of the empty container, empty density bottle. And then we calculate the volume of the liquid contained in density bottle. So we calculate the mass of the density water along with the liquid. Yes or no? So to get the mass of the liquid, what we do? We subtract M1 from M2. Yes or no? M2 minus M1 will give us the mass of the liquid. Yes or no? It will give us the mass of the liquid divided by volume of the liquid. That is 2500. This is clear? Clear to everyone? To calculate density of the liquid. So from the mass of the density bottle plus liquid, we will subtract the mass of the density bottle, and we will get the we will subtract the mass of the empty bottle. Okay, and we will get the mass of the liquid. This is clear. This is how we can calculate.
Sir, can we leave?
Time is there. Time is there. 2 minutes are there. So little bit more I revise, and protein and thinking we will discuss tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Units of and then we have discussed relative density. Yes or no? Relative density is what? When we compare densities of substances. Okay. So how we define relative density? Relative density of a given substance, of any substance, relative density of given substance. How it is being defined? Equal to density of that substance, okay. Density of substance divided by density of what we are taking denominator, density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. It's water at 4 degrees Celsius. This is clear. So relative density of any substance, how we calculate? Density of the substance divided by density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. And what will be the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius? 1000 kg per meter. And density of substance we are taking in kg per meter. So what will be the unit of relative density? What is the unit of relative density? Can anyone tell?
Sir, there is no unit of relative.
Let's say it's unitless. Why? Because it is a ratio of 2 densities. Relative density, it is a ratio of 2 densities. That's why it is unitless. Unit get cancelled. Unit get cancelled. Okay. You can see here gold. What was the density? Density of gold 19300 kg per meter. What will be its relative density? 19300 divided by 1000 kg per meter cube, kg per meter cube. Kg per meter cube they cancel. 1000 it will be 90.3. Okay. So if relative density of substance is given 90.3, and the question is asking you that convert it into density of the substance in kg per meter cube. So you have to multiply it with 1000. Yes or no? 1000 kg per meter. Or if you are telling gram per centimeter cube, so it will be simply 90.3 gram per centimeter. Yes or no? These all we have discussed. Okay, there is no unit of density. How the density of a substance varies? 1 minute I'll take and you can live. Okay, how density of the substance varies with temperature. Okay, so what is density of the substance? Mass upon volume. Okay, now if temperature increases, mass does not change, mass is constant, whether you increase the temperature or decrease, mass of substance remains same, yes or no? Or does it happen? You have bought the ice cream from the market, and if you increase the temperature, your mass of ice cream increases. It does not happen. So mass does not change with temperature. What changes? Volume. Things expands and contracts with temperature. Mainly, most of the things, majority of the things, expand with increasing temperature and contract with decreasing temperature. So as temperature increases, volume increases. As volume increases, density is what? Mass upon volume. Volume increases. Density increases or decreases? It will decrease. Density will decrease. Since increasing temperature, volume increases. Therefore, density decreases because they are inversely. So, with increasing temperature, density decreases. Okay. With decreasing temperature, volume decreases and density will increase. Density will increase. This is clear? Okay. Okay, so tomorrow we discuss floating and sinking. Okay, and then we will discuss few of the applications. Okay, and we'll complete the chapter tomorrow. Okay, so revise this chapter once, whatever we have studied. Okay, any doubt you have, you may ask. Okay, then thank you all.